Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Crystal, and on today's video, I will be refinishing this little 2-drawer dresser. It currently has like a farmhousey type finish on it. There's a lot of brown wax. It's in pretty good condition. It has been painted a few times. Some of the paint is peeling off. I will not be removing all of the paint on this piece. I'm going to try and avoid that by cleaning it really well and getting off all of the existing wax as best as possible. I'm starting off with filling the existing holes for the drawer pulls, as I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be using for my drawer pulls, so I figured I might as well fill those. I can always go back and drill them out later if I need to reuse these holes. I'm using one of my favorite products to fill the holes. It's called Wood Bondo. It sets up in about 10 to 15 minutes, so it's really good if you're impatient like me. The top drawer had some old contact paper in it, so I will be removing that. One really great tip, if you are struggling with removing contact paper, sometimes it's like really stuck in there, you can take a heat gun or a blow dryer and warm up that contact paper, and it kind of reactivates that glue, and it makes it super easy to pull that contact paper out off of the surface it's adhered to. I'm using mineral spirits to remove as much of that brown antiquing wax as possible. I gave the whole thing another really good, super thorough cleaning before I started painting. And I'm just using a black Waverly brand chalk paint. I mixed together my polyacrylic and my chalk paint for my second coat, so that way I have a built-in top coat. I have never tried this type of decoupage paper before. It almost feels more like a fabric. I really wanted to iron out all those wrinkles from it being folded, but we had just moved fairly recently within the past 6 months, and I still have not found my iron. So I'm positioning this paper and I'm taping it off so it kind of stays in place when I start to add my decoupage medium. And I'm just going to be using Mod Podge for this one. I'm applying my Mod Podge underneath of it, and this was quite a learning curve for me. It's not exactly what I'm used to. This was much thicker than using a tissue paper, so I struggled a bit. I believe you need to add a lot more of decoupage medium than you think. This paper can definitely handle it, and it does kind of seep through. It's kind of porous and holey. This paper is not going to tear like most tissue papers or other decoupage papers. I usually use some crumpled up saran wrap to kind of smooth everything out on regular tissue paper. I'm not quite sure that did anything using it on this type of paper. I found I did a lot better when I applied my decoupage medium to the back and to the front of this paper. It definitely helped my adhesion, and then if I went in with a just with my hand and kind of smoothed everything out. I did also use one of those plastic scrapers, kind of like you would use one of those wallpaper tools to smooth it out and get out any bubbles or wrinkles. Anyways, this was definitely a struggle for me. I feel like I got just as much Mod Podge on myself as I did on the dresser. I would love to hear any tips or tricks that you guys might have down in the comments. Tell me all about it. What are some things that you do that make this process a little bit easier, or things that you don't do, things that work, things that don't work? Let me know down in the comments. You guys remember how I took off all that brown wax? Well, now I'm putting it back on. Once everything was completely dry, I used an X-Acto blade and I cut the paper around the drawers so that way I can open and close them. I had to go back in and touch up some areas with Mod Podge that wasn't completely adhered to the dresser. I found these drawer pulls in my stash that I thought were really kind of fitting for the style, so I had to clean those really well. I soaked them in vinegar and just wiped them down with a paper towel. And then my husband helped me drill the holes for the new pulls. I did some de-stressing around the edges off camera, and that was pretty much it, you guys. Let me know what you think about this dark and moody piece down in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I've inspired you today. Let's have a quick look at the before we see the final reveal. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.